Oh boy, I sure do love procrastinating YouTube videos for weeks on end. I hope I never have to make another video again. I mean, this is the life. I sure hope nothing comes out of this bag that changes all of that. Oh, what's this? A terrible curse Chester has laid. 5 terrible games you must now play. Uh-oh. Oh, god damn it. Ah, the old corporate mascot. What would we do without him? You'll probably starve, right? I mean, everyone knows you can't buy food if there isn't a giant toucan or elderly stork pushing you to make a purchase. It's actually the #1 reason I haven't had a fruit or vegetable in years. Guys, I'm fine. I swear. Mascots have been an industry standard for decades now. Many of the iconic corporate mascots we know today actually date back to the 60s or 50s. And oh boy, were they rough. What are you? Leave the premises, please. Lately, there's been a bit of a riot online about the recent redesigns of Toucan Sam and Lucky the Leprechaun, as if they didn't look like this before. Hey, at least Tony the Tiger is still a total hunk, right? Anyways, what happens when the world of corporate mascots merges with the wacky and zany world of video games? Well, I already covered one of these before, and it's one of the worst experiences of my life, so my hopes aren't too high for what's to come. Starting off by jumping into the world of McDonald's, there's actually been quite a few McDonald's games that have been released over the years to help promote the McDonald's brand, most of which have already been covered pretty extensively on YouTube. However, I managed to find one game that really nobody has talked about, and that's Donald Land for the NES. The game title like that, what could possibly go wrong? A lot. Donald Land? What kind of Donald are we talking about here? Duck? Trump? Hawkins? Oh, of course, Donald McDonald. Should have known. I guess in Japan this is what he's known as instead of Ronald for some reason. What can I say? The McDonald's lore goes deep. In this game, you play as Donald McDonald as you attempt to, hey look, the McDonald's Land cast! All our favorites are here. Donald, Grimace, Birdie, Hamburglar, Professor, Captain, Uncle. Not today, old buddy. Not today. Well, regardless, Donald here sure looks happy to see everyone. A little too happy, if you're catching my drift. Donald, stop, dude. This is a public area. No one wants to see that. And who the hell are you? Just want things to make sense again. Well, I guess let's see what Donald Land is actually all about. Hometown world, huh? Cool. I'm excited to see where Donald lives. Oh, the poor bastard. Donald, you live like this, man? You're the mascot of a multi-billion-dollar company. Oh, where's the penthouse mansion at? What is it, the medieval ages? Good luck. Yeah, that can only be a good sign of things to come. Well, I guess let's talk about the actual game. Donald Land is a 2D platformer in which you play as the titular Donald McDonald. Despite being the mascot of a ginormous fast food company, his main method of attacking is throwing apples? Okay. Guess you gotta install in these kids' head early that fruit is deadly. McDonald's is the only source of nutrition you need. Believe it or not, this game actually isn't that frustrating or poorly designed. That's gotta be a first for covering these types of games. You actually have a real health meter, meaning you don't just die in one hit. And the enemies are actually evenly placed, so you aren't just being swarmed right off the bat. Am I dreaming? Did I wake up in an alternate universe where bootlegged advertisement games aren't a nightmare to play? What can I say? Donald sure knows how to show a man a good time. Oh boy, boss fight time. Oh man, I sure hope it's that's it? There's only one hit. Well, I guess that's pretty accurate to how it is in real life. Shoot! Shoot, I say! So after you beat the first level, you actually have to go to McDonald's, for some reason. I guess those hamburger coins throughout the level is starting to make a little bit more sense, but I don't get what the hell I'm supposed to do here. Buy a number 10 combo? I guess I'll just grab the 4-piece McNugget and the fried. Oh, okay, what the hell am I doing buying McDonald's meals and a damn NES title? Play the game. Yeah, you're telling me. Oh, well, I guess that was over quickly. Oh, hey, poor little orphan boy. How about you take a quick taste of these apples, huh? Yeah, the difficulty is kinda steeply inclined from the first level. Nothing horrible, but this definitely took me a hot second to beat. And of course, the stupid orphan kid is the boss of this level, and I had no clue how to beat it, so my journey just kinda ended here. I have enough dignity left to not waste my time looking up tutorials on how to beat Donald Land for the NES. Well, that certainly was bizarre, but surprisingly not horrible, I guess? Sadly, that game might actually be the best of the bunch, because next we're going to be looking at a little game based off of everyone's favorite orange cheetah, Chester. The cheetah. It's Chester the cheetah, too cool to fool. You knew this was coming. This game sees you taking control of the famed Cheetos mascot in what may very well possibly be the most boring platformer of all time. Nothing screams level design like a complete straight line with a few random enemies thrown in. What the hell even are these things anyway? You get these turtles that, ironically, are faster than Chester Cheetah himself, these springs that just kind of bounce around everywhere, and fish wearing chokers? Perhaps the weirdest thing about this game is the actual lack of Cheetos advertisement at all, which is non-existent outside of Chester Cheetah himself, at least as far as I can tell. Chester Cheetah here, I'm the righteous kitty from the heart of Hip City. Okay. Right now I'm being held against my will in Four Corner Zoo like Squaresville? What the hell does that even mean? Chester, you good old buddy? You better not be stroking out on me. I still haven't recovered from the last food mascot I lost. Oh, Vlasic Stork. I still think about you each and every day. I miss you. These weird, rhyming, cryptic messages appear before every level too, and they don't get any easier to make sense of either. From what I can piece together, I guess some guy, Mean Eugene, has Chester under captivity in a zoo? Maybe? Who really cares? I mean, the developers certainly didn't give a shit. There's only 5 levels in the whole damn game. A casual playthrough is less than 30 minutes, which is pitiful, even for a game of this time period. There's not even boss fights. I thought this one here was supposed to be a boss fight, and I couldn't figure out how to take it down. I mean, the screen locks into place and everything, right? Turns out, you just have to go to the edge of the screen and then it just jumps off and leaves? Like, what? The actual goal of each stage is to find a motorcycle part and then finish the level, putting this in my favorite category of platformers, absolute hell. Hey, remember earlier when I said Chester Cheetah was slow as shit? Well, it turns out there's actually a run button, but get this, you have to find a shoe in every single level to even use it. And what's worse, in some levels you actually need to sprint to traverse the level, like in this jungle stage here, meaning you have to go out of your way to track down a sprint shoe before you can even continue, and the game does nothing to even tell you this. Fuck this game, and would you believe it if I told you it got a sequel too? Wrap your mind around that one real quick. Chester Cheetah Wild Quest is the sequel we all deserved, and not in a good way. Some call it a punishment for our sinful earthly lives. Others just call it a simple advertisement for Cheetos brand chips. Whether or not this game is an improvement is somewhat debatable. The sprint button is now just a permanent ability, which is nice, but it's kind of just the bare minimum. And there's also boss battles now, which are, I guess, kind of fun. Not sure why I'm attacking an innocent sunbather as Chester the Cheetah, but here we are. On the flip side, levels are now smaller than my own self-confidence, and you die in one hit unless you have a bag of Cheetos on hand. You know, sort of how it works in real life. Finally, true invincibility. Oh yeah, and you can infinitely jump now, which absolutely breaks the game. So I mean, that's cool, I guess. Perhaps the biggest difference is now you can choose your own path, as you can pick one of 3 levels from the start, and depending on what you choose, more levels branch off from whatever you choose to complete. Of course, again, levels are now only 20 seconds, so it's still short as shit, but hey, that's advertising, baby. Believe it or not, this next game actually doesn't have to do anything with mascots at all. It's almost like a normal game that just happened to get a sponsorship deal. A sponsorship deal that took over the entire game's identity. We're going to be talking about everyone's favorite Coca Cola game, Coca Cola Kid for the Sega Game Gear. Wow, this game sure is on the nose about what it's doing, huh? Come on, you could have at least pretended that this game wasn't just one big commercial. I have no idea what the plot of this game is because it was only ever released in Japan, but it looks like Ash Ketchum is here, so I mean it's gotta be a good game, right? And surprise, surprise, the game actually is kind of good. In this game you play as the aforementioned Coca Cola Kid. Is he well, I really don't know, but he sure is trying his hardest at whatever it is he's doing. Bless his little heart. There's some sort of really nice flow to this game. It's just so satisfying, jumping and then karate kicking some buff dude in the face without even breaking form. Probably kind of illegal to be inciting violence like that, but yeah, what are you gonna do, right? It's not even frustrating either. I mean, you actually have a legitimate health system, and the game never swarms you with enemies. Even the boss fights are pretty fair. The only catch is that Coke advertisements are literally everywhere. Like, bro, chill. We're talking about billboards, shop signs, in between levels. Hell, even this video is sponsored by Coca Cola. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm not a sellout. There's even an opportunity to buy Coke products at the end of each world from a damn vending machine. One more instance of the word Coca Cola, and I might begin to expect this game is trying to sell me something. Well, I'd say that about covers it. I'm pretty sure I've touched on everything I can that hasn't already been extensively covered on YouTube. No, I've already talked about you. You're finished.
Pathetic human life form. You haven't even seen my final form. There is another cool spot game. One way worse than you could ever imagine.
No, it's impossible. There can't be another one.
No!
Alright, well, I guess let's talk about this. Yeah, there's a cool spot too, titled Spot Goes to Hollywood. Because I guess just one game wasn't enough. Unlike the first cool spot, this one takes place in a pseudo 3D environment, which immediately throws this game into awful territory. For those who didn't see my video on the first game, basically Cool Spot was the old mascot for 7-Up Soda, and also star of one of the worst 2D platformers I've ever played in my life. While the sequel isn't anywhere near as frustrating as its predecessor, it sure is a hell of a lot more boring. Like most 2D games pretending to be 3D, perspective is just sort of thrown out the window, making it almost nauseating to even play. You still have to collect cool points to finish a level, but now there's only a few in each stage, and being a 3D game, they're way trickier to find. Sometimes they're just hiding inside of enemies, like what gives? These guys take like 10 billion hits to even take down, and as soon as I found one cool point in one of them, I started tackling any I could find. It turns out, as far as I can tell, that was the only enemy hiding a cool point, so I was just kind of walking around looking like an asshat, taking down enemies that just dropped piggy banks or some shit. Haha, awesome! Hey, what game is complete without a water level? Just kidding, this game fucking sucks. I'm sure some of you want me to go in depth on this one like the first game, but there's just nothing to this. It's an empty, boring husk of a soul of a game. And in that way, me and this game can sort of relate to each other. Strangely enough, there's even more cool spot games than just these two. There's a puzzle game for the NES called Spot the Video Game, and yeah, that's a video game, alright, if you're 87. There's also Spot the Cool Adventure, which is literally just a reskin of McKids for the NES, another McDonald's game made to try and advertise their brand. There's something kind of savage about taking another company's advertisement game and slapping your own mascot on there, but I'm not going to give this game any cool points for it. I'll show myself the door. Whew. That was pretty rough, but sometimes you just gotta do what you gotta do when Chester Cheetah lays a curse on you. God damn it, I can't stop rhyming. Well, now that that's over, what do I do now? Paper's on me somewhere. Cheetos bag? No. Oh god. Yeah, I hallucinated all that, didn't I?